The central bank wants the Philippines to be a cash-lite society by 2023, where 50% of all transactions are done online. Let's now have an exchange with Rowie Zamora of GCash on securing our e-wallets and the future of digital payments. Rowie, thank you so much for joining us. I'll start off with the SMS job scams. They have been on the news headlines over the past week, and I have received many of them. And the National Privacy Commission has met up with the telcos, e-commerce platforms, and banks. Could there have been a breach or a leak of the numbers?
Thank you, Rico, for having us. From the side of GCash, definitely we can attest that there is no breach coming from our end. Unfortunately, there are other avenues where the fraudster, so to speak, could get access to personal information of our customers. Not just our customers, but as you had interviewed the guest before me, even customer information of other financial institutions. No? So unfortunately, that does exist, but security measures are in place, particularly for e-wallets like GCash to protect our data, our customers' data.
All right. Of course, this whole pandemic has accelerated the digitization of the Philippines, no? And many Filipinos have their hard-earned salaries and savings in digital wallets. Rowie, what security protections and assurances can you give your users that the money that they have in their accounts is safe?
Yeah, so, Rico, even before the sharp growth of e-wallet users during the pandemic, or at the start of the pandemic, we're very proud that in GCash, we've had our security measures in place, even before then. We are really supported by best-in-class and world-class security systems that protect not just our infrastructure and our software, but more importantly, the data of our customers and their transactions. So these systems are actually powered by our international partners, who themselves are very used to doing the same for their, over a billion customers in their respective platforms. So we are really supported by world-class security protection at GCash.
What do you do in case of a data breach, Rowie?
Well, thankfully, we have not experienced that, Rico, and we're hoping that we're hoping that trend continues, not just for us but for all of the e-wallets as well. We have protocols in place, of course, if and when that happens. We are protected not just by, like I said, the platforms we use, but we actually have a security operations center, a command center that is able to not just mobilize when a potential data breach happens. We actually have tools, risk and fraud detector tools, that are able to not just respond to something if and when it happens, but it can monitor the likelihood of these potential fraudulent activities. And we're able to prevent that, nip it in the bud, so to speak.
That's good news for all GCash users. How do you help your clients and users not to fall and not be gullible for these scams and frauds?
Yeah, so our security systems can be best in class, but you're right. It needs to be augmented by massive customer education campaigns. And we also take that very seriously in GCash. We've launched a couple of programs to really help inform our customers of the things to watch out for, right? Especially in this day and age where there's a lot of fraudulent activity going on. So the first program we have in place is what we call the Customer Protect program, which really protects users from unauthorized transactions. So there's a process in place where we proactively investigate these reports. And if it is truly proven to be unauthorized, the user is protected. That's one. The second is obviously we are working very closely with our regulators, including the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group, right, to very swiftly look into these reported cases. In terms of campaigns, we also have what we call the G-Check Muna campaign, which really reminds the users about what to look out for, the do's and don'ts. And if you will allow me, Rico, I'd like to use this chance to remind everyone watching that really the first and foremost reminder is to never ever share your MPIN with anyone, no matter how they introduce themselves or no matter how they, present themselves as potentially part of a GCash team. We will never ask for anyone's MPIN.
Thank you so much for this e-wallet exchange, Rowie Zamora of GCash.